Online, sorry. Yes, you can follow now. It's been a wonderful time throughout the weekend. Yes, this Friday, I'm here alongside Ansu Salif to drive you up to 10 o'clock this morning. So, yes, to all of you across the country, thanks for joining us this morning. And yes, we're here to serve you breakfast up to 10 o'clock here on this Friday, the 18th of April 2025. Good Friday. Ansu, do you know much about this Friday?
Yes, just let me say morning. Yeah, morning first.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, my God. Thanks again for for having me on this morning. And as you said, it is Easter Friday, and normally we say that Easter Friday is often referred to as Good Friday. So there in the Bible we say that it is on 7. Good Friday commemorates the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death. From the Friday up to Sunday, so where we have the Good Friday, then we have Easter Sunday up to Monday. So there where we have for Friday in the New Testament.
Okay, that's great. But let's take our morning motivation this morning with Bobby Blair Addison. And he says, when Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse and returned the 30 silver coins to the chief priest and the elders. Quote, I have sinned, he said, for I have betrayed innocent blood. What is that to us? They reply, that's your responsibility. So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. Friday, April 18th, morning motivation from Blair Bobby Addison. Bobby, good morning. Thank you so much. I know people who, who read the Bible a lot
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they know about this story, and I'm sure they are very touched this morning by this Friday morning motivation with Bobby Blair Allison. Yes, so this is the morning motivation. But let's just bring up for you what we have this morning, and then we can start from there. But again, this is the Truth Breakfast Show here on Truth 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia. This is where national unity begins. So this show is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited, a Pan African bank. We will join David Coty shortly to bring us the health tips as usual this morning, followed by the review of the local dailies. We have a couple of the papers here this morning to review for you, and we'll let you know what are the stories in the newspapers. You can go and buy some of these papers. Majority of the papers are sold just for 40 Liberian dollars, and some are for $50. Yeah, so in our studio chat this morning, again, we will talk about yes, the governor of Liberia is ready now to give the ministerial complex a facelift by painting and doing other repair works at that complex. Again, that followed huge public outcry about the filthiness and the bad outlook of the complex. But we want to say thanks for that move. We'll talk about that this morning. The National Disaster Management Agency, we're still on their back to see what they've done so far in Todi, rural Monserrato County, where several homes got destroyed. I think about 60 in the heavy storm, about 300 victims in Todi are crying for help. We've been saying this for the past week, and we will throw light on that this morning again. Again, like the Minister of Mines and Energy said, Liberia's poverty is man made. So we will throw light the issue of illicit mining across the country. We believe that the natural mineral resources given to us by God is to uplift the people, to upgrade the living standard of the people, but not to be taken from them while they are still in abject poverty. So we'll talk about illicit money this morning. Well, after that, at 8:30, we'll open the lines this morning to have some interaction with you on our talking points up to 9 o'clock. We'll bring you sports, entertainment, commercials brought to you by EcoBank and Orange Liberia. At about 9:15 to 10 o'clock, we will have a guest bar online. Okay, we'll speak with the Nelta Fifi Slayon by phone this morning. She part of the team they call She Dare to Lead. This team is supporting the candidacy of Madam Edith Gonglowe in Nemba County, the senatorial by election. They're part of other women group being raising money recently to support either her campaign or activities that will help her through that campaign. So we thought to speak with them directly this morning on the TBS. So we'll have the Nealta Slayer as our guest or by phone this morning to tell us more about their initiative. Why are they even raising money to support a particular candidate when we have seven candidates in the race? So, in the midst of our country first, this is the Truth Breakfast Show. Stick and stay with us up to 10 o'clock this morning. Well, and so this is the lineup.
Yes, that's just it, Micah, and I think it is something good to take our people up to 10 o'clock, even taking it for the day because all our talking points there are all interesting discussion in which I think our people can feel they can form full part of our discussion this morning. So just get glued by your radio, stick and stay, don't touch it. For now, straight up to 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes, so now to 10 o'clock, David Koti will call this morning. David is supposed to pass through, so we'll give him. And one thing I know about David, he doesn't forget his promises, his word. He assured us yesterday that he will pass through this morning. If he doesn't pass through, we'll go pick him up at ELBC this morning. David, good morning.
Good morning, Ambassador Davis, and good morning to Elon Musk. In fact, I don't know why I call him Elon Musk.
Oh,
You know,
What you know
that,
about
that
this?
answer you calling Elon Musk?
when I saw that guy for the first time on True FM campus or compound,
You
I
thought
said, well,
you was Mr. Billy there?
I tell you what, Mr. Ability, when I saw you in here fighting over dollar card, I said, well, is it God that I don't know. You remember that day when you were fighting with the dollar card here for me? No, it's not for you.
Oh,
I said, well, they haven't been like a rebel. The guy look like money man. He got it every day. Even the way he can step, yeah, the money
Mhm.
man. All right, thank you for the time. Let me start. Can I go ahead and answer?
Go ahead, Chief.
Okay. The veteran is not there today. I know that transportation been in no gas. I want to tell you, broke. Anyway, let me go to my health tip. If you have diabetes and you do not know that you have it, you are living by the mercy of God. I repeat, if you have diabetes and you don't know that you have it, you are living by the mercy of God because it is a dangerous disease and it has no cure. But it can be managed and put under control if it is detected early. Diabetes is when there's too much sugar in the blood. If it is not detected early and put under control, it will lead to stroke. Number one, stroke. Yeah, you know, stroke is the leading cause of disability all over the world. People sit in a wheelchair for years, some there for life. It can also lead to heart disease. You know that heart disease is the leading cause of death all over the world. It can also lead to blindness. Diabetes, so you see, glaucoma and cataract are not the only things that can lead to blindness. Even diabetes can also lead to blindness because it can destroy the optic nerve at the back of the eye, the nerve that connects the brain to the eye. Diabetes can destroy it and it can make you blind. So you got to be very careful. Go and find out today whether you have diabetes or not. It can also destroy your kidney because it can destroy the nerves that can carry blood to the kidney. Be very careful. It is also the cause of amputation. All the people you see walking with crutches and this and that with one leg, now all of them may accidental. Some of them got diabetes, too much sugar in the system, or it can even lead to death. Some of the signs that you must look out for when you see these signs, be careful. Number one, frequent urination. You pee pee plenty, especially in the night. Go check this out. But this is not exclusive to diabetes. When you have prostate enlargement, it can also happen. Number two, excessive thirst. You just thirst it over and over. When you drink, After 2, 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you test it again. Number three, increase hunger. Despite eating, you're still hungry. When you eat, after a few minutes, you get hungry. Oh no, you gotta go check yourself. Unexplained weight loss. You're not exercising, you're just sitting there, but you're losing weight. Fatigue, blurred vision, slow healing of wound, frequent infection. Something when you get caught by something, the soul can't heal quickly. You gotta go check yourself. Diabetes around. Remember this: when you feel feverish, or when you think you have fever, or when you have fever, do not sit at home and keep sending for tablets, especially malaria tablet, because you think you got malaria. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Consult a medical doctor because that fever you have that could be typhoid or malaria. So don't just sit in your house and keep sitting for tablet for malaria. You are killing yourself because you are not going to be treating the real problem, and the typhoid will still be there. And that typhoid can bore in your intestine. It can do a lot of things. We'll talk about it before in detail, and I will come back to it one more time. Thank you very much. Um, God willing, I will be back.
Before you leave,
Yes,
Mr.
uh,
Koti, our friend, you made a commitment yesterday. We haven't forgotten. I hope,
definitely.
yes, I hope you have not also forgotten.
No, no, I have not forgotten. I'm going to pass that. I'm going to pass that.
Okay.
This morning I will pass that.
We miss you,
And
man. Our handsome young friend, we miss you.
that's what I like about you. Just reconfirm
Yeah,
that I got to pass
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
I told you before I love praises.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
I what I deserve or not, just praise me.
Just praise me.
Just praise me. I'm the president for the other people's group. Just call me handsome bear. Finish.
Okay. Yes, but
Uh,
David, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and God willing, I will be there.
But in the
But in the
meantime,
meantime, I gotta get out of here.
you gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here. Bye bye.
Okay. Yes, David Coty with the health tips. It is a regular feature here on the Truth Breakfast show on Truth 96.1 FM. Up next is the review of the local dailies, the newspapers. Yes, so the first paper this morning is the Daily Observer newspaper. And this newspaper is up for just 40 Liberian dollars. The lead story on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper: Barkai rallies partners to support U.S. 8.4 billion national development plan. Well, I'm seeing the photograph of the president sitting here. This was a program held yesterday at the ministerial complex in Monrovia. Still on the front page, Ellen, other women rally for Edith Gonglu, where in Nimba County. I'm seeing the former president here dropping her envelope right here on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Still on the front page, the Nimba senatorial by-election is a major test for President Boakai. Who is saying that? Someone says the Nimba senatorial by-election is a major test for President Boakai. I'm seeing the photograph of the candidate Edith Gongluwe as well as the Vice President of the Republic here, and they are saying, well, the Nimba senatorial by-election is a major test for President Boakai. Still on the front page, government cracks down on illegal wetland encroachers. We're seeing EPA and others begin enforcement of Executive Order number 143 that talked about demolishing structures built in wetlands across the country, beginning with Montserrat County. Let's go to the back page of the Daily Observer. Sacred Sounds of Easter, Liberia National Academy of Music to host Good Friday concert. Well, this is good. VP Kun joins campaign trail in support of Representative Koga as Yeka Koluba ability breaks for other candidates. This is the final story on the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper.
In my possession this morning, it is the Inquirer newspaper broadcast 6 award 8 billion investment to transform Liberia. On the front page of for the current newspaper, you will see that President Boagai fought about education secure 2 million grand doing things data six things. Liberian education minister is on the front page of the current newspaper. Still on the current newspaper, churches called for national renewal, moral awakening. Liberia Council of Churches head Dr. Reese is on the front page of for the Economic newspaper. The back page says here Supreme Court rules in-house dispute next Wednesday. Supreme Court rules in-house dispute next Wednesday is on the back page of the Economic newspaper. The Great Speed highlights African of Africa banks wrote in books in the continental trade. All right, so that on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper, and that should be Minister Sylvester Crispin here on the back page here of the Inquirer newspaper.
Yes, let's go for the news. The news newspaper, the lead story. Speakership war near end, ruling for next Wednesday. Chief Justice or Arnold CNG, your is captured right here. While I'm seeing the majority speaker as well as the embattled speaker, Rachel Kuhn and Fonati Kofa, both of them photographed read by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. A banner headline on the newspaper. Still on the front page, Boakai declares Tuesday as by-election day in Nimba County. The president is here. Tradition or desperation as Koga lies on bare ground to appease elders and voters in Nimba. Well, I'm seeing the photograph here where this candidate, Samuel Koga, is lying flat on the ground, and I'm seeing some elders, patting him on the back. The editorial of the newspaper says, indeed, journalists must be treated with dignity and respect. Grab this paper and read the editorial. Let's go to the back page of the newspaper, the back page. Agriculture Minister commends GCA's improved rice production project for smallholder farmers. Rethinking National Development, who is saying that Buakai elaborates on US 8.4 billion investment plan. The president is captured on the back page of the newspaper. Liberian Youth Foundation graduates 17th cycle. Still on the back page of the newspaper. Feminist Forum set to kick off women's rights training in Monrovia. No deliberate criminal intent established. Arms Commission finds clears U.S. Army officer. And finally, RAL unites community, police, and others in fighting crimes in Grand Bassa County. Is the final story on the back page of the newspaper.
And we managed to capture the front page of Women Voices this morning. She worked in my administration and she did well. That is a former Liberia president, Madame Salif, and ex VP Taylor endorses Edith Gongo well on the front page of the Women Voices. And we see here vote number 3. And still under the front page of for the Women Voices, strengthening partnerships for Liberian future. Liberia President Joseph Yuma Buaga is on the front page of the Women Voices, and then the Women Voices is carrying 2025 Nima County vote 3, number 3, Edith Gonglower. Now women are the women.
I see. Yeah, but let's go for the Verity newspaper. The Verity newspaper, the lead story: legal action. Mirror threatens AREP. AREP is the Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force. I'm seeing the former GSA boss and former Monrovia City Mayor Mary Bro is captured here. And what it says, Madam Bro, former Director General of the General Services Agency and current head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation's Power Theft Task Force, has issued a stern warning to the Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force. She says, when they play with me, I will sue them. This is Madam Bro speaking, and still on the front page of the Verity newspaper. corruption bites. This is question mark. Corruption bites. Governor of Liberia Tax Force investigates 26 cases. This is Councilor Edwin Clark Martin, the head of the asset recovery team. And still on the front page, Kuhn accused of tribal politics. This is VP Jeremiah Kuhn. And finally on the front page, motorcyclist challenge police no-go zone. Let's go to the back page of the Verity newspaper. Nimla released on bail. Reverend M. Emmanuel Nimlan, the former religious affairs advisor to former President George Weah, has been released on bail by a criminal code C. Well, he is photographed here on the back page of the Verity newspaper. President Boakai declares April 22 election day in Nimba County. And Grace Kwan faces trial. Former Monserrato County Superintendent is on trial for allegedly ordering the demolition of private properties. She's photographed right here on the back page of the Verity newspaper. The final story on the back page: CDC accuses UP of $400 million Liberian dollars bribery scheme. What is that?
All right, so
Yes,
yeah, to close up for my end this morning, it's the front page newspaper. To capture the front page newspaper, the front is reporting here this morning. No king maker, no king maker. So it says here a new political chapter for Nima County in the wake of Prince Johnson passing. No king maker. So we have the faces of the political leader for the CMC, Liberia Vice President Jeremiah. That's Jeremiah Kuhn is also right here on the front page. Edith is also on the front page. Samuel Koga is on the front page, but it is reporting no kingsmaker for Nimat yet.
yes. So the final story now for the review of the papers is the Liberian investigator. It says, in pursuit of truth and integrity. This is Lana Dodo's Liberian investigator. And the lead story: PPCC disowns Yellow Machines deal. Buakai government faces Eton and Ibomav style transparency scandal. Hmm. Let's see a summary of it. It says the government's multi-million dollar Yellow Machines deal, shrouded in mystery and contradictions, now faces a major blow as Liberia's procurement watchdog PPCC says it was never involved. Is this a deja vu of the Eton and Ibomar scandals? It's a question mark on the front page of the Liberian investigator. And stay on the front page. Liberia's accused 2 million euro grant from UNICEF EU to transform or reform education data and expand TVET access. That's a good news for Liberia. Tackle root causes of Liberia's struggles. President Boakai urges global partners to prioritize lasting transformation over temporary aid. Okay, and finally, on the front page of the Liberian investigator, Wolokoli brand CDC due draft a 419 scam, says Weah is delusional about 2029 comeback. This is Jemima Wolokoli. She's captured right here on the front page of the Liberian investigator. So yes, this brings us to the end of the review of the local dailies. Thanks to all of the editors, winning Sewa Jimmy, Leonard Doru, the data observers, William Hammond, Women Voices, Helena Sami, and a lot more, a lot more, and a lot more. Yes. Thanks to all of you for making the papers available this morning for review. But well, this is it. Ansu, thank you so much as well.
Yes, thanks again. Just found it a little bit difficult with the call.
Yeah, I know you are struggling. I
Yeah,
don't know whether you honor the weather or the weather honor you.
this morning, but yes, we can go on. So as I said in our lineup,
Yeah.
we have a lot of talking points in which we want to throw light on this morning, bring it to the public attention, and then we make it interactive.
Yes, absolutely. So, and we will begin with the ministerial complex. like we mentioned, you are aware recently the government announced a major refurbishment, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to call it upgrade, you want to call it facelift, you want to call it painting of the ministerial complex. And again, we think it is good. It is good for that place to be giving a very decent look because that is the spot hosting, I think, the biggest number of government institutions in the country. About six ministries and agencies are over there, including the Civil Service Agency, the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Commerce, uh, and many others in there. So to in fact that place is now hosting the biggest theater, the most used for that matter in the
Mm-hmm.
country.
Mm-hmm.
That's where almost all of the programs in the country are going now. They abandoned the Monrovia City Hall, the biggest, the old theater of the Monrovia City Hall now. I've not been there recently, but the last time I was there, been a couple of months ago, the chairs in the main theater were all broken. I don't know whether John Tiafa and his team have done anything there, but it was abandoned. It was wreckage, and so the ministerial complex now is the new place. You know, Liberians, we have this uh, attitude of loving new things. Yeah, new things. Even in business, people who doing business, they know as you open your business today for the first 3 months, it
Yeah.
will be the hot spot. As long as someone open around you, someone opens a new area of the same kind of business you are doing, the entire customer ship, I mean, will just move to the new place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we've done to the ministerial complex. All of the programs in the country don't go to the pavilion anymore. It doesn't go to the Monrovia City Hall Theater. Everything is now coming to the ministerial complex. So in the end, you realize that the damage there will be speeded because the overuse of the theater and other facilities over there. Now we want to appreciate the government um, for taking now the initiative after we have talked about this for almost 3 years because we knew that that place from the beginning, from the dedication of that building, the
Mm-hmm.
pin that the company left on that wall, that's the pin there today. And I was wondering, I don't know whether it's that same pin that the government is going to put there again. I think we should give it our color now. I think we should give it a color that we want to give it because that
So we should
paint,
forget about the Chinese mini color, right?
yes, that paint is quite come getting dirty. Yes, I don't know whether that is cream, that is white. What kind of color is that? So I think we should change that color. I think we should change it. Furthermore, the concrete plates on the drainages in the area,
Mm-hmm.
we realized that a lot of them are also damaged.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope that renovation, am I calling it renovation? That facelift you're about to give
Mm-hmm.
that complex should not be just painting. I think some of the blocks that are on the drainage, the cement plates on the drainages in the place there, most of them are damaged. I think they should also be changed. There are people who say when they are driving over there, they are even very careful with their car tires and all of that because they don't want to get stuck in the in the drainage and all of that. So I think you should also give that a priority. While you'll be doing renovation in the theater, you'll be doing, upgrading in the theater, you'll be doing
You,
painting and all of that.
let's get it clear, Maka. You're
Yeah.
talking about the small drainage they
Yes.
created for
And
the water, to
yes, yes.
okay.
And then they
They put
cover
that,
it with that.
yeah, with
Yes,
the
that,
iron.
yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So most of them are broken,
Yeah.
and people who are driving over there, they are always struggling sometimes. So yeah, a couple of them been talking about it. Say we hope that this upgrade will also affect that. They should change some of them so that people can have free way to drive and all of that. And some of the elevator,
Yeah.
some of the elevators over there in some of those buildings are not working. I think I can point out the Ministry of Labor. The
Mm-hmm.
Ministry of Labor, that elevator, they got problem. Every day people jogging up and down that ministry. The people working in that ministry, they know what I'm talking about. So I think it should also form part of the work they are
You know, I've
about
been
to
one
do.
time. Let me give you a story, my guy.
Mhm,
I went to that place one time, so
mhm.
I was going to the elevator one.
Mhm.
And the guy said, no, one not working was use two. I said, but if one can work, then I work for two.
You better
So
go climb.
I mean, use a step. He said, no, man. I said, no, I'll use a step.
Yeah, so yes, while we appreciate the effort, we want that work to be holistic. We can get done with the painting and then we still have issue with the flow of the ministerial complex. So
It's a quick impact project for police. If you touch some major area there
two
in the
months,
yeah
two.
in the compound,
Mhm,
some major area in the compound. The way you talk about the painting aspect,
mhm.
since the thing that place forward, that one corner that one it's what been on that building, and you will notice that when I came on the road project by the 540 and all the
Yeah,
doors,
yeah. Yes,
yeah,
and like I was talking, the concrete slabs right in the driveway, right, especially around the Ministry of Commerce.
okay.
Yes, that's one of the area that the people who drive around there have been having the issues. Yes, the concrete slabs right around the ministry. I mean the commerce ministry. So please, y'all change that one then too. Baker. Yeah, they're not just painting y'all go do over there. Since we dedicated that place, it's been more than 7 years now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Paint, not touch that wall. What? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God that you are doing it now. Thank you so much. And we hope that you do that work as perfectly because the press conference you called was not easy. A lot of people criticize that. Just do a citation, tell the various ministries and agencies that well, beginning this time we are starting the painting, the facelift of this whole complex. So at some point in time, your work will be a little bit disturbing, and then they will just be aware, and you can just go and start doing the
It
work.
just goes.
They're blowing horn over small things like trying to gain some kind of political points. Look, when we vote for government, the government come to power, you forget about politics and do the work of the Liberian people because you're doing it now too, so you can be like, oh, the CDC government, they now pin the ministerial complex, the Kwaka government coming paint it so that what we have in a big press conference, so the Liberian people will know that CDC they now pin the ministerial complex that why the Kwaka government, Unity Party government coming paint it. All that thing is not necessary. Let's do the work and move on. This country government is continuity. Whatever project. That's why when I hear people saying when the government is initiating or continuing a project that was laid out from the previous one, then you hear people all on Facebook, oh, you're taking glory of it. Look, government is not political party. Hmm? Government is not political party. You see, for example, if the government move in the CDC compound to say we want to make the CDC vocational training center or step bidding, then you say they want to be party glory. That one a different thing. But every government that comes is the one government of the Republic of Liberia. The only thing that changes is the administration. The administration will change, different people will come to power, different political party will win and come. But when your party wins and come to power, it doesn't mean that the government is your party. The government is the government of the Republic of Liberia. So whatever projects that are laid out when new administration come, you expect them to continue and finish it. So you doing it well and finishing it, you clap for yourself and you say, yeah, doing it. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. So when I hear people saying, oh, taking former president, we are glory, taking president. So you tell me the truth now. You want if an administration come abandon all the ongoing projects and initiate new projects? No, we can't do that. Then we will leave the country undone. Okay. So I mean, that is just why it is. Government projects will continue no matter who is in power.
That have been training I think for the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Maga on the social media. They have been training the water and sewer corporation, some of the market area in which I think this administration
Mhm.
decided to give facelift. It was the same, people were there rubbing the shoulder, going back
Yeah.
and forth,
Mhm.
but all that, the former
Even the
president, yeah,
solar street lights that is coming up all in Pinsway, GSA Road, Dupont Road, and all over the place. People are on Facebook. Oh, that president, former president, we have project. Yes, that's fine. That's government project. That's government project. So government should continue it because these projects were designed not to benefit a political party, but to benefit the Liberian people
hmm
whose taxpayers' money you are using. You
hmm
understand? So you stop that other thing. That not serious political thing there. Yeah.
our people just need to understand that the way you said that war continuity.
Yes.
That just all they just don't understand. So if it was there for former president we if he out now, the next man who come in charge will pick up from there and he will continue it. If you move the next man, just about continuity, my people.
Exactly.
It's not about competition. Something that make it look like competition. So yeah, something that make it look like we are no the pool running competition, and just put that type of pressure on the government. Putting up a pressure on themselves. It's not competition. Everybody know it's continuity. President we leave, President Boaga comes in, President Boaga leave. Whatsoever pressure that is there,
Mhm.
the
That
next
government
government
project
come
now.
and pick it
Yeah,
up.
that's a plan.
If for the Liberian people, it's not
Mhm.
for political party. It's for the Liberian people.
It's like, for example, maybe unreliability, who is the head of the institution, maybe put in for some equipment
Yeah.
to come, and then maybe you say, well, I'm tired with you everywhere, I'm retiring or I'm resigning. You
Hmm.
resign. Then you bring a new director general,
Yeah.
and you say, oh, that one that like you were bringing, no, don't forget, but yeah, I'm going to procure my own. So
Hmm.
is that not waste of resources? So that's the kind of thing we are saying. So you have the street light project ongoing under the past administration, then the new administration can, then you abandon it. Why? So that's not how it's supposed to be. So we hope you do a perfect work at the ministerial complex. Change the concrete slabs over there, and ensure that the people drive safely and go to work. Thank you so much for that one. Um, you can go and do that one. The Todi issue, we talk about the storm recently. We've been saying this. That a people Sunday, you can send me a text message. Please send me a text message to say how is it there now, because the last time we raised the issue we got hugely attacked here by two senior officials of government, the superintendent of Montserrat County, Warren Bryant, and the director general of the disaster management agency, Honorable Ansu Dolly. They came here very harsh, but we stood our grounds, our point that um, something happened in part of the country or in a part of the country, and the institution established by the government of Liberia through the legislature to oversee or respond to these kind of issues sat supinely, care less about what's happening to the people in that part of rural Monserrato, and then they are telling us that, oh, the budget we have is just 1 million. In fact,
Hmm.
it's 800,000 and 700,000 for salary. So the 100,000 can't do anything. So that 100,000 can pay your team way to go to the affected area and do an assessment and see, so that tomorrow, what if, for example, there's a cholera outbreak, God forbid, or any kind of disease outbreak, and people need statistics as to what actually happened? Where do you think they will have the data from? Hmm? It should come from the assessment, the impact assessment done by the disaster management agency. And then, for example, records want to come in to help. They want data, for example, maybe other, the cattle relief service and other institutions that normally help.
Hmm.
They want to come and do something, but you're looking for data. You say, because the budget they give you like 800,000, 700,000 for salary, only 100,000 you get to do operations. So you now go there, we now get data. You know, it doesn't mean that go in straight away and go buy zinc, go buy and carry it. Your first thing you're supposed to do is go there and see the impact of the disaster. So you came here on the air, condemn us, why we should talk about that, and even mention your institution name and all of that. We are not deterred by that. So in the first place, I hope you've gone there now and seen the life of the people. 200 children out of school. We displayed the school building here yesterday. De-roofed totally. A lot of people homeless sleeping in the Palau hut or in the open. And we think these people deserve help. So we'll go there and help these people. We're not here to argue with you back and forth. We know that your budget is even a little less than 800 million. Okay. And you have, 800,000. I'm talking about million.
800,000.
800,000. It's little, it's less than 800,000. You're using 500 some more thousand for compensation, as they call it in the budget. But still, you have to do a work. And like I said to the legislature yesterday, these are very critical institutions that you set up. I think the people who proposed the bill to even set up that institution had in mind that there will be problems in the country in the future. So we need to have an institution that will intervene and address some of these issues. That's why they set up that institution. But for you to go sit and discuss the budget and only poor people pay in the budget for that institution, I think it's disheartening.
It's wrong.
Yeah, it's disheartening.
It's
The
wrong.
disaster management agency just put money there and can pay people that are
Wrong.
working there. So it means that institution was just established so that people can go there and take pay, just to create job for people. The function, the key function of the institution, you didn't give them money to do it. So what the essence? To just let the world know that we have disaster management agency. And one of the reasons why they do that is because they believe that when big things happen, other international institutions, the Red Cross and other will come to give aid. We can continue to live on aid. We are reviewing the paper right now. The president mentioned yesterday that we need to think outside of the box and stop doing temporary aid issue and do permanent things to impact the country. So I'm very angry with members of the legislature who went there and allotted only money that can pay salaries at the disaster management agency.
So the people only go to work
to take pay at all.
to take pay. You forget about their
Whole
operation,
function.
the whole operation at that institution. And when it comes to, I don't know, the way you said, Maga, disaster in the country, it can only be, or again, it's not a specific time. It will happen anytime anything happen. Anytime we expect anything to happen. So that office or that area or institution is set up for that purpose. When they say money, only for salary, the budget where they close, where the money is set for the no money for operation costs and things to run the institution for emergency. There's nothing set up or sent there. No man, I think this government institution, agency or what you call it, they are the ones should be benefiting from our national budget hugely because they are playing major role. See what happened to this storm?
Yeah,
We're going to get to the rainy time, not the rainy season. You know what we start experiencing? People houses around in the rural area.
Yeah, and let me say a special thanks to Pee Wee Sando. Okay, Pee Wee Sando, thank you, and thanks to Onu and the TBS and myself. It's good to tell say thank you. But I think we raised this issue to the extent that it triggered them to act. You see, Liberian people, especially leaders in position, especially government position. You see these people when they're running their private businesses, and you see how proactive they are, you will be surprised. But get them government job, they become complacent. They say government money now free money. Okay, that disaster happened almost more than 2 weeks ago. That yesterday, the disaster management sent team there now. And it was after we have discussed this, the Maserado superintendent, he came here and fought with us, followed by the disaster management boss. Now they sent a team there yesterday to go there and see, to check. So whatever it is, we are looking up to you to see what will be the outcome. You check, what did you find? Okay, what did you find to be the livelihood of the people? What did you find to be the impact of that disaster? So Ansu Dolly, thank you for sending people there, even though it is a belated action. Better still, people say, well, 10 better than 0, eh?
Yeah.
Or it's better late than never.
Better late than never.
Yeah. So thank you for sending people there. After pressing you, like when you pull fire on Turtle's back.
And pressing you right for Tony though.
I tell you,
when something happened
in
Sano County low fire, I think we'll go.
Even County B and Doru, for example, River G, for example. When you reach there,
where in Tony, pressing you. So I don't know what's happening when in Sano County, in River G, what's going to happen there? It's going to take maybe 3 or 4 months. Maybe we just talk on the radio. It will just die, and there'll be nothing that will come out of it.
No, let me say something passionately, okay? For us to build this country, to do anything positive, to uplift the lives of our people, to upgrade our infrastructure, it depends on us. This mentality that when something happens, US aid will come in, European Union will come in, the Irish aid will come in, the Swedish aid will come in. I think it should not be primary. It should not be primary. As a nation, we need to be prepared to move ourselves forward. We cannot continue to depend on aid. The reason we experienced influx of aid in a country was because when we went to a reckless war, destroyed our country, and then when we ended the war and we were coming back to rebuild, we didn't have the infrastructure, we didn't have even a tax collection system in place to even raise money in the first place to rebuild the country. So friendly nations needed to come in to help. That's why you see people were coming with aid. People say, oh, early time, money really came into the country. It's not happening at Georgia time. It's not happening at Buckeye time. Yes, because the people feel that they spend that money to set the foundation for the country to move forward by itself. But if we fail to do, we think that the after war aid will continue to come, that will depend on and spend our budget to pay one public official $8,000 and pay some consultants in the government. Some people doing consultancy in 4 5 institutions. In each of the institutions, you pay them $2,500, $2,000. Some are even taking 7,000 for consultancy across government. But you're not putting money into disaster management. You're not putting money into environmental protection. You're not putting money into education adequately. You're not putting money into healthcare adequately. You think, oh, healthcare donor funding will come from other places. When it comes to education, oh, different projects they're supported by our international partners. I mean, that kind of liability life, I think we should move away from that. We should move away from that as a country. So I think this is what we can say this morning so far.
We cannot just continue.
Yeah, yeah.
Be maybe a child, or just keep
I
looking
tell
up
you.
to people for support. Like you said, Micah, the foundation have been set up already. So in the international community or global, and the people looking at us now, where they stop, we can pick it up from there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it start to do our own setting to raise our own money to run our institutions around here. We could know, waiting on the aid. So this is why when the U.S. president took over, Donald
Mhm.
Trump, they canceling,
Yeah.
people started worrying around here
Because
because
the
it was
U.S.
like too much.
administration self feel that the money they are putting all not reaching to where they're supposed to reach.
Hmm.
That's the first one of the major reason why President Trump suspended some of these programs or these fundings were because they themselves realized that even their own people
Hmm.
that were spearheading these projects were taking the money to themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? You have one little project in Liberia, you put almost 5 expatriates behind it, they come here and they almost
You
take
say
it
your own people behind
they
it.
taking almost 50% of the project cost. I mean, because they want to restructure, even though it's painful, but we gotta let people do their own work. Let's do our own thing too. You understand? Yes, let's do our own thing. So we will open the lines, but before we open the lines, something happened the last time at the judiciary. Councillor Samuel Pearson wrote the Chief Justice requesting that there should be an investigation of the Grievance and Ethics Committee concerning an investigation that was done, a report released on that investigation. The person who is the complainant later on withdrew that complaint, and then later on the Grievance and Ethics Committee issued another report again. In that report, they placed there suspension and restitution. So it's like altering the court's record. He thinks that it is not correct, something is not good there. So the Chief Justice should set up an independent body to investigate how come the one investigation got two reports and the report got two different contents, if you may call it. So, and you know that the Griffin Ethics Committee of the Supreme Court is that institution that should be ethical and ensure that lawyers in the country behave correctly. So if one of your own, Councilor Pearson, is raising issue about certain things, I think the Chief Justice, who's supposed to be retiring from the judiciary in June, should set that example by saying, hey, let's look into this thing that Councilor Pearson is raising. How come we did a first report, we only said suspension, which we did? How come we got another report up again talking about suspension and restitution of $9,500? How come? So I think Councilor Pearson have some points and it should be investigated to clear his doubt. Yes, so I think that should be so. Okay, okay. Um, yes, they are trying to do so. So please, yeah, sorry, I was a little bit distracted. So please, the honorable or honor, Siana G, you have that complaint on your decks. Look into it and do something about it. Justice is blind. Justice doesn't see. It doesn't have eye to see. Everybody should feel satisfied. The first punishment was suspension. He's on 6 months suspension. He's sitting down. Why the other report come and put restitution inside? Whose interest is that happening? We don't know. But this is where we are. We talk about two major things this morning on the show. We talk about the renovation. Do we call it renovation or facelift of the ministerial complex? We also talk about the function and funding of the National Disaster Management Agency. These are things that we've talked about. Again, just before we can open the lines, we want to call on the people of Nimba County. Nimba is a county of diverse people. Nimba is a county of peace, progress, and strength. Nimba is a county of unity. You know, after the 2011 election when this news about, oh, let's try to create another country out of Nimba, when it came, Nimbayans rise up in their number and say we love our country together. We don't want for our country to be divided. They rise up. And even when documents surfaced at the legislature, it was thrown in a dustbin and it's still there forever. It didn't come back outside. Because Nimbayans are people who believe in their unity and strength. People who went to campaign in the county and started using tribal statements against our brothers and sisters. People today, when they say Nimbayans are doing business, they learn. If they say the other tribe, the we people, the Pala people in Nimba, the Crown people in Nimba, the Don and the Man people, when they say they are doing business now, they are doing business now because they are doing business now because they learn from our Mandingo brothers and sisters who came strongly as business people in the county. Okay, for you to go to campaign and start to use words against our brothers and sisters in the county, we condemned that. But our next step is the people who are elevating that, we also condemn that. If you say something is bad, you don't have to sell it. We can say these statements made are bad statements. Then we go to our Facebook pages and start to elevate that. Then what are we doing? That means we are fueling the fire. I think it is bad for us to do that. Let's take a couple of calls. I am seeing yeah, the people they think you're doing to me the money. Eh? I'm seeing Anthony Facia Harris here, and she's joined by someone. Okay, she's here so far. I understand that Anthony Bombedo Joa will also be here this morning. This arrangement has been back and forth, but they are coming here this morning mostly to talk about their support to the female candidate in the Nimba by election. They've been all in the street looking for money everywhere. I don't know they didn't get out money, but they've been doing quite well. So they're here this morning to talk more. But we'll take a couple of calls before we can join them. Call 0770202579. We'll join them at 9. Yes, at 9 or 10 after 9, like that. Yeah.
Or 0776927472, 0776927472. Call this morning, be live on the True Breakfast Show this morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Ambassador Marka, and let me say good morning to your co-host and as well to those following the broadcast this morning. My name is Aloysius P. Flomo Jr., and I phone in this morning from District 2 in Lower Magibi County. Now, let me say thank you for the talking point, and I want to speak on this issue that has to do with the disaster management, agency. You said it right that our government officials, most especially the legislature, should be very cognizant that these
Yes.
are institutions that need, a significant portion of our budget support. Let's look at what happened in Tori, rural Montserrat. It may happen in other places, especially with the issue that has to do with global climate change. Human behavior will cause some of these, disasters. And when we are not prepared, at the end of the day, we look out to the international partner. And this is why some of us are hearing Donald Trump. Liberia is rich. Look at our budget. We have over 800 and some more $1 million in the national budget. But we are taking less than 800,000, placing it for disaster management. Are we serious? But we pay one directors, we pay one ministers 8,000 United States dollars without a benefit, and like you said, some of them even serving as consultants to other agencies. If we mean business for this country and we want the country to be developed, we need to change our governance system, or else we'll be talking the same thing over and again with no result.
Okay, thank you. Let's stick to the 1 minute. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ambassador Marka Davis, and to your co-host.
Mm.
Yeah, they fast to command. And I join you for honor the canopy of the rescue force soldier. Yeah, thank you so much for the talking point. I think our politics traditionally.
Fasu, I think you are not ready. Let's take the next call.
Good morning, my gosh.
Good morning.
Okay, this is from the scam calling from Kawe, Upper Kawe, Bessie Street.
1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. You see, my God, you're educated like Brembo until the superintendent of the country, I'm thinking, for sure. Because I remember from a law, because I represent who was superintendent of Rankin County. These are the things they used to tell the talking people in that one way. You live with Brembo and the talking people, the court, and I want to make sure you can do election. You superintendent of most of our country as the president of the country, of the president. People right in your president of Tony District, what we are talking about April 10th to April 15th, you are not even for the year on the national radio station. People are on my way there now. You are disgrace to us. What are you people who are in the interest of the people? The superintendent role is the art of the president in the countries. Now, what the president cannot read for you to read, just go and get information. Then he can tell disaster management to run there to see what they are doing. Look at what the manager are saying for disaster manager. So you get the oil and go and sit down more and you take it. They put the money in the budget for somebody else damage, so happened for you to go to there and see what happened. If you don't get the money, you are on the air telling like people say, and we are here, the money say, I'm here for salary. What you take me? What kind of way you mean? What you tell like people money?
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka, and let me say a pleasant good morning to people around too. This is the voice of G. Ryan, some of the junior, the person of Grand Pastor Country, of the True Pepper Show. This morning I called selected to speak on two issues. The first one has to do with the disaster management. Look, Marka, the last time, the executive director of the agency, the entire the superintendent, they invited themselves on the radio 3 days ago. So that particular place, we should be having an agency where we're going to be there to be paying people's salary. It happens.
Oh, sorry, Uriah. Sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka, and good morning to the people of this room. I'm also Rado. My name is Bill F. Sano, and I'm calling from Todi.
Okay.
Yeah, let me say a very big thank you to you guys for the show. Yesterday, the team went in the district. They were able to do some of their assessment. At least they are getting the first hand information, and so we're waiting them to see what they will do. But I also get a communication to the legislator when they return. They will be calling the management to tell us why they had to delay in such an issue. And moreover, we also asking the legislature why they will create an institution that they will not be able to fund the institution if they get few people there working to take salary. So we get our communication. We are waiting a response from the legislature as well. So thank you very much for the show.
Okay, thank you so much for joining. This is the TBS here on Truth 96.1. You can also call. We still have a couple of meetings.
Yeah, on 0776927472, 776927472 this morning, and have your say on the breakfast show.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, Maka, I was on the line.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't cut you off. Just go ahead and complete what you were saying.
Yeah, thank you, Maka. Thank you so much. I was saying that we can have an agency where it will only be meant for paying people's salaries. Over a couple of Liberians and separate from disaster. I think I want to call our government, this government, that we voted for, and they should put more attention to the disaster management. You can have a district one in Montreal can be closer to Monrovia and we have our people living in deplorable condition. We still have in the 10% we still have students in Tori sitting on the ground to learn. So I want to call the attention of our government so they can do more budget allocation, more money. There shouldn't be for salary. But lastly, before I leave the land, I want to speak to the the issue of the Nima by election. No matter for some of us, we are real unity party, then we speak to the power in the face of our leader. Today, I want to talk to the people of Nima County, and I want to condemn, the presence of Prophet King around our past president. No, this man, is not a decent man. He shouldn't be seen around our past president. Past President Jeremiah Kony to be very careful. We are watching him. We don't want such a character around him. This man has insulted women in this country. He has insulted other people. He has insulted president, past and president. We shouldn't have people like that, around our past president.
Okay, the major with you. Now let's put the man with you. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, the name is in that Johnson. I'm called from the national bill.
All right.
I want to speak on the issue that has to do with
You have to go straight to the point. Of the line is very
I don't
busy.
know why you.
I say our ministry, our ministry.
Yeah, which ministry
ministry?
now?
You spoke about the ministry of complex injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going.
Okay.
My discussion has to do with our ministers that have been appointed to this position. Look, the president cannot do all. If you are appointed as minister for entity, that entity has maintenance to their department. And just look at the bidding, and the bidding getting money up. The president can look at and friend for you guys who are not in the former bidding that place is looking in. Because the dead minister started doing the president minister. But the president of it never been kept standing with anything. So you gotta give us the sponsor of the game ministry position, get all that ministry and take care of our building.
Okay.
Don't let them marry for that property.
Thank you.
Don't go there for military. Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. I'm Sue. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to commend you guys for the great work you're doing here. The people who went through this weather disaster, and I believe I heard that the government is participating now in what to do about their issues. Well, the other thing I want to talk about is this guy who keeps calling himself Prophet Key. That's a pretty powerful word or name or title. When you're a prophet, you do God's work, I believe, but his one's got to be different. I heard this guy back in the day when Mr. Weir was president. He used to curse this Keys guy. He used to curse as if to say a woman didn't born him. And he's seen Nimba. And I believe that people kind of like following him some. And I totally believe that I will never, ever respect that man for what he does. The last thing, Mark, just before you go, or just before I go, we have a representative here called Roland O.P. Cooper. This disaster that has been happening to our communities here, as a matter of fact, it's happening all over Liberia with the dump truck drivers. I have been trying to find ways for months to talk to this fellow, and he cannot be for just the Bassa people. We are all part of Margibi County, and we're supposed to be able to speak to our representative when necessary. Most especially is happening in District Number 1, Lower Margibi County as well. So he's supposed to be able to make himself available so that we can discuss. I went and met this guy in person, coincidentally, at the home improvement store. And I told him we need to meet. After I've been behind you on telephone for months, sometimes he would answer and he wouldn't give me any serious word. Then sometimes he just wipes it off. The last time I spoke to him, he said, I'm driving. He hung up the phone. I called back. He says, I'm driving. He hung up the phone. Total disrespect. And I think we need to meet Mr. Cooper so we can discuss this deadly issue that happened to our people in Lower Margibi County. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay. Thank
You
you.
are welcome. Good morning.
Morning, my guy. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I need this kid. For the case speech.
You got to be audible, please.
My name is CP. I'm calling from Lane Street.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my pizza appointment this morning is the good discussion because this morning concerning about government property that was first in the country. It is mark, if the government mark on any vehicle that are contract without security. If the mark any vehicle, if it is good, what we get, we will not take care of it. This is how we speak. So we are urging all the ministers that government, our buildings, our Google buildings that getting them to again look on what is happening to the ministers. It all can be the president. This is what you have. This different branches in the ministry. But you can be there, they maintain it there. You can do nothing but our building look money up, and the president can come and query you. You don't stop this behavior. They don't believe good. And take care of government property.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for participating, folks.
Your
So I think,
telephone one.
yeah.
Your telephone one.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Moses Kate, and I call from Harrisburg. You know, they teach you how to deal with the disaster in this country. Like I always call and tell you that we in district number one, we are very suffering. Yeah, like for us in Harrisburg, we don't even have water. And every time I call on the radio and speak to national government to come to our aid, well then so can we come to kind of do assessment check on us? Now it happened now to the area there. Now look at even if you go business, there's a cover. Let's say I mentioned the junction is pausing. And government ain't thinking about that to see go there and go and check on it. So one of the rules collide again will be passing on the administrative building way to be growing. So really this is one is not a case district, so this should have put to pay attention to.
Okay, my
Okay.
brother. Thanks. Thanks for raising your concern. Eddie, should I call him?
Yeah.
Eddie, want to point to.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka and Aso.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Rebecca Young, this morning I'm calling you from GSA Junction.
Okay.
Yeah, Marka, you see what you guys were saying, the problem we have in Liberia is maintenance. Marka will go out there with lobby, people help us, they do great things for us. But Liberians, we are very weak at maintenance. That is our problem. We have good things that will come and install for us. But now to maintain it, you Marka, even at home, you will not buy a chair, you expect it go for 50 years without working on it. So maintenance is our problem. So this morning I want to speak to our ministers, those in the various ministry, even us as private people. Let's learn how to maintain things. Everything you do on earth, Marka, even him about it, even while you think we can guess it. Sometimes you need the body needs rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Open down working, you will work through from this place to another place, no rest. Sometimes the body will shake some kind of way, you just need to rest. So I beg us, Liberian, let us take maintenance very serious. Marka, a typical example, these traffic lights they put in install for us. How many of them today can you see on working at the various junction? We are very poor at maintenance. So
I'll tell you.
let's take maintenance very serious. Thank you this morning.
Okay, thank you for that strong message to us Liberians. Let's take this short commercial break. When we come back now, we will join Arthur and Fasia Harris, who is here. The same way they were punishing me, I'm punishing her too. Yes, this break, we'll be back shortly.
Hey, Russian, why you rushing also?
You today, don't give me hard time, man. I went to the bank to get my cash because the bank was so close.
You can use the ATM.
My ATM card expired ever since.
Man, you not the ATM card. Just use the mobile app and generate an e-token. All you have to do is to just log on the app, you click on Express Cash. Then you select ATM. From there now you select generate e-token. Then you select the account you want the money to come from. From there you select the currency that you want. If the Liberian dollars or US dollars. Then you put in the amount that you want, whether $10 or $20, you put it in, you generate your e-token. It's simple like 8 numbers that will come to you. When you get that number, just go to any ATM name. All you have to do is to just select the See Express Cash on the ATM now. The place where you're supposed to put your ATM pin, that when you pull that 8 number. Then it will ask you for the amount, that money where you generated, that money will come with the ATM pin.
So simple. Echo balance for me again. Oh. I will always make use of the Express service big time. Echo Bank, the Pan African Bank. Two, Max It. Orange all-in-one app that helps you live to the max. Access data and voice offers. Enjoy high-speed internet services. Monitor your balance and usage. Track SMS, calls, and data easily. Stay connected with Orange Money and Orange Energy's services and products. Get entertainment, games, music, and more. Purchase tickets to the hottest events and shop with ease from online vendors and consumable products. The best part? It's zero rated. No data charges to use the app. Download the app now on Google Play Store or App Store. Just search Maxit LR. Live smarter, live better, live life to the max with Orange Maxit. For more information, call 111 or find us on Facebook at Orange Liberia. Orange.
Of course, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia are the prime sponsors of the Truth Breakfast Show this morning. Like we said, we now joining our guest this morning. Yes, let me have her on the camera. Very good. Uh, I mean, Hasia Harris is here this morning from a group of women who are supporting the candidacy of Madam Edith Gonglowe in the Nimba senatorial by-election. They've been engaged in the past recent days with fundraising rally to support the Madam in the election. So we thought to bring them on to see why among seven candidates they're just supporting one. So let me just join her this morning and say good morning. It's great to have you this morning, Fasia.
Thank you, Maka, and thank you to Ansutu, both of you, for giving us this courtesy and the opportunity to be able to talk about the campaign that we've launched, as you mentioned recently, to support the candidacy or campaign activities of Madam Edith Gonglowe, who is contesting in the senatorial by-elections in Nima County. And as you and myself know, she's the only female candidate on the ballot for this senatorial by-elections in Nimba. So you ask why we supporting her. I just want to go back a little bit in history, Maka. Women in Liberia, the first opportunity we had to actively participate in our national politics, I would say, dates back to 1946 when we were granted a right to vote. And then in 1947, women voted for the first time in the elections. But more to that, even the voting that was done in 1947,
Hmm.
the women who participated had to be in a certain category. You had to, before you even vote. And then somewhere in 1959, I can recollect the date, 1950 something was when generally all of those conditions were removed and women started to vote and I would say start to participate in our national politics. And since that time, women have actively participated in elections. If you ask me how women have been in the women wings of political parties, I
Mhm.
know a few years ago we engaged women in all of the political parties in Liberia that were available to talk about how we could transcend beyond
Mhm.
just being in the women wings of the political parties, being the ones who are cooking the food for those that are campaigning, doing the rally, wearing the t-shirts, and running behind the male candidates. So we've made that point for so long. We've done a lot of advocacy, direct engagement with women and with political parties to say, hey, women cannot just be in the political parties and singing, the songs and clapping behind you and canvassing for you. It's time to push women up front, put them on the ballot box, and let them get voted for and be able to represent the people of their constituents. So this is why we are here. So recently, after the final candidates were announced for the senatorial by-elections in Nima, it became real and it became a fight that we have one female candidate. So we as women's rights activists activists, people who believe in the ideology, in the concept of equal representation, meaning men and women should have equal seats
Mm.
in decision making. We say, hey, there's one woman here, so we got to do something about her. Reach out to Edith. What are your challenges? She have a bucket list of
Mhm.
challenges that she's confronted with contesting in these elections. And one of the things that could be done immediately was to come together and be able to ask Liberians from across the length and breadth of this country that wherever you are and you believe in leadership, women's leadership, let's come together and let's support this woman so she can be able to canvass properly and, take care of her campaign and get the votes that she needs to be able to emerge as the winner in that election. So that's why we are here. And just before your next question, Mark, I would say
Mm.
that this is something that we've been doing
Okay.
in all of the elections. We've been supporting women candidates in different ways. There is no one woman that have ran in Liberia that will say they have not benefited from the support of women's rights activists across Liberia. Maka, it will be done through training programs,
Okay.
through designing, helping you to design your campaign, the moral support, just to say, hey sister, we see you, you are in the race, we see you and we support you because we want men and women to vote for women so that we can have an appreciable number in terms of equal representation. So this is something that we've done all of the time. Every election that has gone out, they support it become in different forms,
Okay.
but we've always supported women who are participating in elections. At least I will tell you from the 2005 elections. And then again, I will say these supports comes in different forms.
Okay.
Now in 2025, the senatorial by elections in Nima County, what is most important is that there's one woman in a race. How do we support her? If we have two, three women in that race, who have come out and supported all three of them to say, we see you, this is our support, this is how we can support you. Go and canvass and see if any one of you can emerge as
So,
the winner.
under which banner do you do this support? Because I see different faces, people from different sectors, but I just see like almost all of women stakeholders in the country doing this thing. Is it a particular group or organization? Or what is it
So this
like?
is a movement, it's not an organization. The campaign for this by-elections for Edith is called Dare to Lead.
Okay.
If you follow Edith, history in elections, you know that this is not her first time contesting. The
Mhm.
last time, even the last senatorial elections, you know that even ended at the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And women of Liberia again, who are working in different sectors but are interested in women's political participation, representation, and leadership, work together under another umbrella and even provided legal support for her through that legal process that we went through. So, like I say, it comes in different forms. So, it's a open end campaign. It's not owned by any one Liberian woman. So, we gave it a name, but there are institutions that are working specifically on women's political participation issues that are there. We have OWASH. And under OWASH, we have the past room where we monitor violence against women in elections and we'll be monitoring again. We have the African Women Leadership Network. We have the Liberia Feminist Forum. We have Sister Aid Liberia. There are a lot of organizations, right, that are working on these thematic areas. But there are interested men and women in the society who, once these campaigns are designed, they call it for all of you. Marka, before I leave from here, I need your money, yeah? Yeah, I need your contribution so that I can carry and put it in the box.
No,
So, no, no,
the people will say
Marka,
no. The people will say, "Oh, a journalist is supporting a particular candidate."
if you're not supporting a particular candidate,
Yeah.
Maka, like you gave us the space to come and talk about what we're doing is because of the issue. Maka, tell me, and that count down, Nima County, right?
Mhm.
And hello to the people of Nima County, right? We're
Mhm.
taking nothing away from the people of Nima County. All we are doing is sending in solidarity with the people of Nima County. So if wherever you're listening, whether you're in Morovia or in Nima or you in any other county, but you have interest, meaning that is part of Liberia. So we're
Mhm.
interested, right?
Yeah.
There are 9 districts in Nima County.
Yeah.
Facts
Yeah.
shows that there are 9 male representatives. That one, you can go anywhere in an rocket science to know.
Mhm.
And currently, In the House of Senate, there should be 2 seats, which is one is being contested for now, but currently there's one male senator. So you want to tell me that 9 men will be 11 men? How does it look in your eyes? Those of you watching, put it, you have this visual picture. You have a very populated county that is youthful, that you have a lot of women who have registered to even participate in the elections, and a lot of men as well. And it's okay that we all sit and say, yes, as far as Liberia has come in 2025, as far as we have emphasized the need for girls' education, for women leadership, equality, the fight against sexual gender-based violence, healthcare, education. You want only 9 men to be making that decision? The decision
So,
will never be inclusive of all the diverse groups that we have in Lima County. We need that representation. And research has shown over and over and again that it is important for men and women to have equal space at decision-making tables.
someone said a good leader is a good leader. Does it have anything to do with being a male or female?
A good leader is a good leader. Does it have anything to do with having a house full of all men? That's the question I want us to discuss. Does it? Does it?
Hmm.
1847 to 2025, our politics, our leadership has been male dominated. Tell me how far we still need to go to have major issues addressed in healthcare, in education. Recently, we have pictures and videos all around from children, school children, in babies, young children sitting on the floor. You that can't say there. You tell me, say, think I represented, think I senator. There are women still being challenged with maternal health. So what is happening with the way we are making decisions and the way we are discussing our development programs, the way we're implementing it? Don't you think small of that problem or a big portion of that problem is because we are not seated with our issues. We are not represented equally because there are men who support women issues and support social issues and girls.
What different women bring on the table that the men may not be doing?
What different what difference the men doing that they think that if women are not included will do us any better than we've already had. So yes, we are diverse people. We are citizens of Liberia. The constitution supports participation of everyone, representation of everyone.
Mhm.
So it's upon all of us as citizens of Liberia to say that we need to participate equally in our decision making tables. We
Okay.
have qualified men, we have qualified women, we have women with experiences, they are well versed in different sectors of our country, and we have men as the same. That is why it's important that we put them together on the table to be able to lead, to decide, and to drive our national security, our national development programs, our social, issues, and all of that. We can't have men. Your lens, Marka, you sit down there right now. Let me just make it simple like this.
Mhm.
You there, Marka,
Mhm.
you the man in the home, right?
Mhm.
What's the major role of the men in our context? Let's say men supposed to go bring the money in the home, he the father, he the head of the home, so take care of the home. You alone can support your home.
You-
The woman that there, isn't she contributing? Isn't she working or making business?
But
And
immensely,
yes,
yeah, of course.
and even if to say the least, at a particular time she's not employed, isn't she working? Isn't she making sure that the house is kept, your things are kept, the children are in place? Don't you think important for her to sit with you and discuss how both of you run your home?
That is important though. But
So
this,
it's the same thing with our national politics. We have 3 women of 30 senators, that 3 women and 27 men. So when issues come, if we have to discuss issues around maternal health, the way the woman will see that, because she herself understands what it means to be pregnant and you need to get medical attention and you can't get it. The man will see with his eyes and see that you're in pain, but you can explain that story differently. So the man will say, yeah, that's true. Like at the hospital, $500. And yeah, you say the way, you say the way. The woman could come and say, based on my experience, my education, and all of that, I think yes, we should give this hospital this amount of money. But if you say we should just focus on maybe administrative costs, I would say no. Let's make sure that we put more money to current being there in the night. We put more money to having nurses station at night and having the doctor there because a woman who gave birth in the night. Or let's allocate this fund to having a few in the ambulance. The ambulance is always ready so that when we in, for example, in I will talk about Maserati because if we are here at the VA hospital, for example, or JFK hospital, and we get a call from somebody where in Corway, we are able to connect with all the hospitals around and send ambulance for them to bring them. That's two different scenarios. The man is looking at, yes, I'll get the money. Let's do this and or the woman will come and give you details as to why invest in a particular way. So we are just saying our issues are diverse, right? And they intersect. And because these issues are diverse and the intersection is there, that's the reason why we cannot have one perspective or one gender just sitting there and making those decisions. If you talk to girls in high schools, right, the issues they have with menstruation, if they come here to explain it with you and the boys in high school listen to them, they'll say, oh, but we can all sit down in the class and when you know what the girls may be going through. Because you will know what it means that when your pad is wet and you cannot have a clean bathroom where you can go and stand in to be able to change that pad. The man may not understand that in depth, but you understand it. You know what it means. The man will dress and go to work. You know what it means for a child to go to school hungry. But that mother who is there more often with the child and sees the child through the eyes and know that when this child is hungry, they behave differently, will be concerned about making sure that there's food for the child to eat before he or she leaves the house to go to school. Maybe the father will say, "Hey, a reset and go."
Mm.
But got that reset before you go on the road to find the donor. But in eating the donor at home, are two different decisions right there. So all we are saying is that Edith is the lone female candidate in Lima County senatorial by elections. And over the years, we've worked and we continue to work to say that women and men should be given the opportunity to lead. So we are
So,
supporting
mhm,
her through fundraising in solidarity. And it's one of
okay.
the work that we do on women's political participation, leadership, and
So,
representation.
what specific aspect do you want to align this support? Because there are different things, maybe funding for campaign, maybe funding for maybe election observers, poll watchers, and all of the. Is there any specific place you are aligning this support?
So we are not members of either campaign team.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not part of her um yeah, her campaign team, we're not campaigning in the communities, we're not part of her strategic team. I know each political candidate will have a strategic team. We're not part of that.
Mhm.
We know that she's expressed that she has challenges, and we know part of getting some of the things she needs to get done requires money. So the best we can do is to raise the money and send it to her. And in the wisdom of her campaign process, and those leading the campaign will decide how to use the money. But we can dictate to her to say use the money for this or use it for that. But there are obvious things that you mentioned, some of them that probably those funds should go to. And this is not our first time raising money. It may be in small number or supporting, in a small way, but we just want to say that this is because a lot of people have concerns. Why are you doing this? This is not the first time. So we've had to do training programs. There are ongoing training programs, workshops that working with women. You see, NEMOT, for example, has this whole big political institute, and there's a component there for young women's political participation. You see, even NEC has a gender office that we've worked with to be able to develop the violence against women in elections protocol. So
Okay.
these are different steps in small ways to support women build their confidence, give them the kind of moral support they need, the technical support they need for them to actively participate in politics because that became a concern that we cannot just go into politics. You need to be
How much
prepared.
how much are you targeting with this fundraising rally, and how far are you reaching your target?
Micah won't put her money yet. So we say thank you, Micah. We our target I think we're very ambitious to raise as much as we can raise.
1 million US dollar.
If Liberian people come and bring the money, we'll be glad to
Ah,
receive that. But I would just say that
mhm.
up to yesterday, we had received close to um 5,000
Okay.
US dollars, and we're around 700,000. I hope I got the figures right, ladies. 700,000 Liberian dollars, and
Okay.
this money is coming from Liberian
I was just about
students.
to ask, how are you raising the money?
So we are raising the money through on site and on online.
Okay.
So let me call the mobile money number now. So that if you're listening to me, we say bring your $1, bring your $2, your $3. Every cent counts. So the number is 088-109-4404. That's the mobile money number. But you have to use the code. So if you're using mobile money, you know you have to use the *156*3. Then you put hash, and then you put the mobile money number there, 088-109-4404. And the name on that mobile money number is in the campaign's name, Dare to Lead. And we are very transparent about what we receive. If you've been following the process, at the end of the day, we do an open check of how much was raised that day. We count it, and then we also go to the mobile money and bring the figures together. So the campaign closes today.
Okay.
So we are encouraging you again, please support the fundraising campaign for Madam Edith Gonglo, where for the Nima County senatorial by elections. Edith, we see you. We see all of that's happening, and the women right under this banner, the women of Liberia, the youth. People are concerned about what's happening, and we say we want to see a female in the House of in the Senate, sorry, in the Senate. And since Nima County provides that opportunity now where there's by elections, we want to say that if the people of Nima can be, thoughtful, can based on all that we said, the need for women's political participation and leadership, we encourage them to, kind of support and vote for her. But now, so and the thing, women has always been supporting men, just to pick impact on this. We see conversations around women, women for women. So this is not women for women thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Women are leading this because we're working on the issues. This is something we work on daily. Every day is part of our work, it's part of our conviction. So this is not new. And some of the arguments that we're reading is good for the debate because
Mhm.
this is a forward process. We're learning. We have to we reach this marks. We've had the opportunity where we've even drafted bills. The last bill of in terms of affirmative action
Mhm.
was to be passed through the amended elections law, which was in the end veto. You remember
Yeah.
for the last elections in 2023, and part was that we were asking for not less than 20% gender representation on each political party's ticket. That's the same thing we were working about on. So that with me, there's a whole advocacy and fight for legal reform that will ensure equity in some ways for us to be able to achieve what we're doing. So this is not strange. This is not about women because you see women support women. Women alone are not supposed or required to vote for women.
I know you are doing all of these efforts to ensure women participation. What have you seen as it is chances and challenges in this particular member by election?
Well, one the challenge that we see, right,
Mhm.
is that she's the only female on
But I think
the
that should be
no, no, no,
it
no.
should be an advantage for
It's
her.
not what we see that being the only that should be an advantage,
Mhm.
but it's also on the other side as a challenge as well. In our politics in Liberia, like it or not, is male dominated, it's very patriarchal. Most of the activities that come along with canvassing for political seats is those conditions are not friendly towards women. There's the whole issue about violence against women in elections where women talked to in ways that will shut them in already, given the history of where we came from as women. To even be here sitting and asking people to vote for election is not even an easy thing for even we that running this campaign. The backlash is so much, the challenges, the debates, people will come at you personally,
mm,
issues that are not, they bring us things that are unrelated to leadership and what the focus is. So these are challenges that women generally in elections face, and Elif is going through those same challenges in Nima County. So, and she's the men, there's the whole thing with the boys club, and it plays, in the night, it plays in the day. There's everything around different local contexts, and we all know the local context in Nima. But again, she put herself up there
what are her
for
chances?
leadership.
What are her chances?
The chances of Ide is with the people of Nima County,
Mm,
and we do believe that the people of Nima County, the youth, the men, the women, do know that having 11 men in the in the national legislature doesn't seems fair, right? For in terms of representation. So her chances, we are hopeful that she wins. That is why we campaigning in terms of we standing in solidarity in terms of raising funds, which will also help her mitigate some of the challenges that she have in to get through to all of the people of Nima County to canvass for the vote. There have been a lot of issues, different forms of pockets, small thing that looks like that violence against women, and we continue to say campaign all you can campaign, canvas all you can canvas. But let's remember that we denounce violence against women in elections, and we've even been speaking to national stakeholders about plans to protect, in terms of security wise, and we've been ensured, at least through the Ministry of Justice, that they've are working together, the joint security, they're working to ensure that the security is, well
okay.
kept in Nima County, and uh, that the candidates also have, some form of protection. So that for us is welcoming, and we hope it will translate into actual reality on elections day, that the people of Nima will go to the polls free day, and they can go and, vote. At the end of the day, this is democracy,
Mhm.
so the people of Nima will decide, they will choose what they want. But we are saying that,
Choose a
um,
woman.
yes, we support, you know, women's participation and representation. And this is an opportunity that they shouldn't miss to have one of their own
Ye-
representing them.
Yesterday, we saw the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, coming to contribute to this fundraiser. We also heard the voice of the former vice president, Madam Joelle Howard Taylor, voicing her support, endorsing Madam Edith Gonklowe. What does that add to your campaign?
So I'm starting off by saying to you, giving, reflecting on where we came from as women to where we are, and even the part
From 2005?
2005, from
Okay, you
1947.
mean, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it took us so long, and then Madam Salif broke that glass ceiling, right? And we all know that Madam Salif was able to go on a two-term leadership presidency in this country, and there were challenges, and nobody is saying that we will not have these challenges in governance, but we broke the glass ceiling, and Liberians voted woman in 2005. So in 2025, voting another woman to go to the Senate in Nima County is not something strange that we are asking. So Madam Salif and Madam Taylor adding their voices, this is like recommitting and resounding how important it is for women to be in leadership. And Madam Taylor was just
Vice
vice
president.
president,
Mhm.
and she have her own experiences, and I think she's convicted that it's possible, for women to be in leadership and provide good leadership and lead. It's not a level playing field. They recognize that, and they are coming from that space where they know that it's important and the benefits that it brings to our national decision making spaces. So for me, I would want to think that's why that's their conviction as expressed by them, they themselves in the words that they express. They came, they saw the effort and they embraced it and said, oh, this is a good way to be able to reach out and lend our voice. So that's welcoming. And we, even Madam Lema Bowie also sent her support and she sent her word.
Okay.
So these are women who um many Liberians, right? Men and women, girls and boys look up to as role model. They see them as really, really breaking through the patriarchal, the male dominance, all the challenges that we've had with leadership and excelling to the very high positions. So adding their voice to it, it's just re-emphasize the need for Edith to win that election and go to the Senate.
Okay, so again, if you are joining this interview, my name is Marka Davis. This is the Truth Breakfast Show. I have with me this morning as my guest, Attorney Fasia B. Harris, part of the She Dare to Lead.
Dare to lead.
Dare to Lead, yeah, the Dare to Lead campaign, raising funds and giving other support to the female candidate in the Nimba senatorial by election, Madam Edith Gonglo Way. Yeah, so the next question, you talk about women participation, women's representation. Besides elective positions, appointed positions, we have. Are you impressed with women in, or the number of women in appointed positions in government? I mean, moving far from, let's say, from 2006 coming up to now.
Well, if we say impressed, we are making steady progress, but we're not there yet. We are far, far, far,
We
far.
have the education,
No one
we have the
has,
education minister as a woman, the health minister as a woman, and many women in different positions in the country.
and there should be many more. We recognize that. We recognize the progress made
Mhm.
so far and the thoughtfulness that leadership, different leadership will come in and appoint women to key positions. But we should go. Those are political appointments,
Okay.
and I think women in those positions are leading. They are making the change, and why don't we now give them the authority to represent us in the legislature? We are far from achieve. We are still below, you know, the belt. But let's we recognize those steps and we say there should be more. We need more, and not just putting women there, but let us also be able to ensure that their presence there is meaningful, right? That they can contribute, they're able to make impact, and they're leading with the men. So that would be my position. We recognize
Mhm.
the effort so far, and we say thank you to all of the leadership and those who are responsible for ensuring that we continue to ensure that women are represented through political
Who
appointments.
do we blame for the less number of women in the legislature?
Who do we blame?
Mm.
We blame ourselves as a people. That I keep saying, um, the way we socialize and the way the politics, our politics, are in Liberia, we take the responsibility. We can't blame anyone else outside Liberia
Okay.
for our own failure to elect
You want
women to the legislature.
you want to blame the men, you want to blame the women themselves?
I cannot blame women themselves. I cannot blame men collectively as a people. It's our responsibility to see the need for equality and the dividends that it brings to us. So Madam Salif came to power in 2005. Since Madam Salif came to power, if you go across Liberia, you speak to women, you talk to them where they got their motivation from to step forward, to be able to stick around and still engage despite the challenges that they face. They will allude that to say, oh, if Madam Salif could do this. So it serves as motivation. It serves as the message that this is possible, right?
Okay.
So I think it's not a blame game, like who's responsible is a collective thing as a country that we have not done. And that's why all of these advocacies are about to say that we keep explaining the way we are socialized, the cultural context that we work in, the marginalization that women suffer for so long. These are all systematic issues that continue to prevent women from excelling as fast as men in getting elected. So let's work on these issues.
Mhm.
Let's work on them and make sure that we are able to reach equality and equity.
Okay, yes. You, the women are in the capital here, making efforts, raising funds, and all of that. What specific message do you want to send to the women or the people in Nimba in general?
So to our Nima County people, our brothers and sisters in Nima, all the
You,
stakeholders
you don't want
there.
to send it specifically to the women?
I'm sending it to everybody in Nima County.
Okay.
Elections, we have both men and women who are eligible voters and who are stakeholders,
Okay.
and who are interested in the leadership of the county. So this is to say that we are in solidarity. We are sending positive vibes. We're sending peace out to the people of Nima County and say we cannot wait for Tuesday so that you have a peaceful elections. This is the second by elections in Nima County. So we know that the people of Nima will go to the polls peacefully and they will vote for the leader. But the argument that we are making for leadership, women's leadership, is that
Mm.
Nima County benefits, Liberia benefits from equal leadership or equal representation. So we may not we most of us are not residents of from Nima County or have voting rights there, but we are interested in the overall national leadership of our country and representation. We are interested in the issues of women. We are interested in the issues of the young people, and we feel that once we have more women in the national legislature, these issues will be discussed based on the diverse experiences and from both men and women, because both men and women are affected. If there's bad governance, that men and women will suffer. If
Mhm.
there's good governance, that men and women, our children, our youth will feel the impact of it. So this is not saying that the people of Nima don't know, what they want. They know what they want. We are saying part of what they want is to have a fair representation of the county in the national legislature. So everybody benefits, and let us all work together to ensure that the face of the leadership of the Nima County is not just all male, but we do have men and women who are leading. We have a strong. They have a superintendent. He has served in that position before.
Mhm.
And currently, there's a few. So if you can, with that's progress. So let's uh, transcend to the
Okay.
next level and have a female senator.
Yes, let's transcend to the next level and have a female senator in Madam Edith Gonglowe, former superintendent of Nimba County. I have Fasia Harris, alternate Fasia Harris, this morning, the Dare to Lead campaign. She's here. They've been raising funds to support the female candidate in the Nimba by election. Call this morning to participate on the show. Uh, Strictly to what we are talking about, 0770-202579. 0770-202579 is the number you can call. Let me see if I have this person on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, this person is not there. So call 0770-202579. Again, 0770-202579. Yes. Let me take this caller. Good morning. So let's just go straight to the point. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Good morning to your guests. There's a phone chief and small junior. Martha, I'm the one strong advocate of in national legislation and our national government. But we're doing it through sincerity. If the women show the women more in this country, and the type of election, we have two females running in our election, and now from young people running in our election. Whenever we're doing women now collecting money.
So you listen. Hello, listen, so now when you listen to the interview, please listen carefully and don't just join a conversation with whatever kind of sentiment, right? Listen to me, listen. Fasia told you, I even asked that question over and over, and she said they have been doing this. They've been conducting training for women candidates. They've been supporting in different ways. So how can you come by and say, where were they in 2023 when two women ran in the election?
Yeah, but Maka, you give him the time to
That means you are not following because I'm obsessed with here, always seeing them doing these things. So let's leave that. Good morning.
because if Madam Eden
They thought it was Superintendent in Dimash, you are not having love your state power. Okay. So why you think the men that we can normally elect to the Senate, are we even aware of the lobbyistic power before we choose them, or we should make sure they lobbyistic power before we elect them? Mm. So, yes, Fasia and the others are raising money to support the candidate. Whether they ask her about lobbyistic power, she will answer you. Good morning. What's her name and where are you calling from, Chief?
My name is from Nimaka.
Oh, from Queen. Okay. So I would not. It is better you speak to the issues we are saying, but for you to denigrate people's effort, I will not take that on his platform. Good morning.
yes,
Good morning.
fine. I want to ask the children because you mentioned that we are very position and what about very some institution education like apart so one of the years is that from that of where our job just for the facility now that we are good to our job what are they doing because my thinking that
Well, she will answer. I mean, she will answer, but oh, you can't be by the radio like that.
Hello.
Sorry, man. We can't do that. Sorry, please. I can't do that. Sorry. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
And good morning to the studio guests. Thank you for taking the call. You know, yes, about agree with women should be given a chance to be able to represent the entities. I agree with all that. Education, I agree. But my thing is, it's a competition. This is not a competition. If you develop your constituents, you will be just fine. And if
want to have people say let's reserve 30% for women, 70% men, I think it will be a difficult process. If this person is going to push her way through, like everybody else, if you have a football league, nobody's going to say this person is losing, so we should give it to win. It just doesn't work like that either. So you have to push, you have to lay down the foundation that when it takes you step by step, you get there. So people have made it. I mean, they have made it up. I question many others, but you have to be president. So you have to build that foundation that will make you, that will give you a chance to be able to succeed in that area. There's a place where you qualify, people like you, push you, because like I said, you got so many parts to this move to such a succeed. So work hard, do better maybe. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Good morning. Morning. Mm.
And I want to say thank you so much for pushing this winning. But this is still running to my mind. You know, some few minutes, what I did do, you know what, females that I to proper that's what some of we have
Mm. Mhm. Oh, your background is very terrible. I can't continue with that. There's a particular call I'm trying to take care. Yes, Madam Solanki, you can call. You say you wanted to call. I'll try to get to you, but I don't know why. But you can. I'm trying to place a call again because you say you wanted to make a point. Again, this is the TVSM Truth 96.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live on the show. Go ahead.
My name is Marka Davis. I am a feminist and the former executive director of a national NGO called Community Healthcare Initiative. And today I'm calling on this video to show my support, showing all of the wonderful ideas that have started lives so that our message show the representative of the gender scheme that means women into the House of Representatives to make informed decisions for Nigeria. And that is the result of the whole that is now elections that Tuesday in the county. The campaign called and I know I've spoken on a lot about it. And this is just a movement to show that two can be. And this actually targeted to put women in leadership at this time. That's really marketing the only running seat of Senator Nima State elections. So I want all the boys, the men, Nima County, violent voting out. So please come up Tuesday and vote Marka Davis over here. She's on 3 over 5. She's on 35 women. The last girl from season 1. But everything this one is 35. She's another. The face of Liberia and the people of Ghana. She's a unifier. Let us round around. Let us forget all of the people and look at what our children, what the future into now, which country that's all the biggest country that Liberia is blessed to have. And I know my people from the country, I know my sister and brothers from the country will go on Tuesday and vote with because for change.
Okay. Thank you so much, Solanke, for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take this person. Good morning. This call. Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, ever since you've been calling, you're not ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. This is the reason why I'm ready.
So you are from the town of Madam Edith Gonglo. Where is that correct?
Yeah, you're 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, go ahead.
Francia, I'll first commend you all the children for the initiative. But one thing I want to very short for people to succeed in advocacy, you know, education should go across the line. You have to be during the election, after election, or before election. Get to learn what to have our people educated, to make them understand the significance of real business be represented in parliament, to be represented in parliament. I will never buy the best or the largest country. And what you are saying
The people listening, people just call from playing just now. People in Zimba following True FM, Cyclopedia, True FM, Bang.
is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to say is now, now with the problem of those elected there in Linda. So if this message will go across, for them to know the importance, the reason for which this application is going on, I believe they will resurrect. But if not, they will actually, your application will not succeed. For me, my percentage is for 1 member. Whosoever that is elected in Lima, that person will be our senator. And for me, I would think I'll be prepared to work with that person. I don't have any specific candidate. Everybody is one. Whichever that is, they are all qualified. Senator,
The people say you should go and vote for Edith.
I'm going to place to go vote, but my vote now is with me, my sister.
Thank you, man. Thanks for joining us. Pasia,
Yes.
you listen to the people.
Yes, we had so many concerns that are genuine concerns, and we thank the callers, those who called for putting forth their views. One of the callers stressed the point where women are not being prevented. They should build rapport with the communities and in their constituents. People will vote for them when the time comes. And you are right, right? So if you want to leadership is dynamic. Leadership is about influence. Leadership is about carrying on the vision of the people and working with them to make that vision a reality. However, there are challenges that we've mentioned. Some of them that is within context in our society and the male dominance of our society for a long time. We've been socialized to know that men should always be in the lead. It's the men who are supposed to make decisions. So there are cultural practices across Liberia that say when a man is standing or talking, the woman must be sitting. All of these things have impact on the reasons or the delay, the slow pace of having men and women equally being elected. So it's like you have to prove yourself 5 times than a man will have to if you put your hand up to run as a candidate, a female in Liberia. We've had examples, many examples of women who are qualified as men and who put their hands up to run in Liberia, and the backlash, the questions that they were being asked were so different. Then law the process separate and distinct from those questions that are placed to men. So you
Mhm.
see that so a woman wants to run, and the first thing they will start to tell you how many boyfriend you got. You get children, the children in from one man, but you will have men in that same race that are running and got children by 10 different mothers, and nobody will ask that question. Even some of them they will not even pay support for their wives. Then they will be dragged in court. Their court case will be there, or the decision will be against them. Where the court is compelling them to go and pay their child support or pay their spousal support. They will not raise that issue. But the first thing they will look for is what will sound denigrating morally against a woman, that people already who are socializing a certain way to see women who should conform in a certain way will start to, try to be resentful to the female leadership. So those are the challenges that we are confronted with. And that's the reason why we say this is equity. The men already have power, they already been there. Society already welcomes men leadership. So what do we need to do to be able to bring women as on par with where the men are? That's the work that we are doing. So it's not that the law say women can run. The laws are there, but for that law to be effective, for us to realize it, there are things we need to do to make sure that the law can be able to address, the reason why those laws were passed.
Okay.
And the Constitution provide for equal leadership, equal participation. They say we should be represented. So why women? The second thing is, yes, the awareness, the conversation is
Mhm.
ongoing. It's not a day thing. And there are women organizations, there are different NGOs, civil society groupings that are in Nima County that continue to work on these issues. So we say thank you to the organizations in Nima, different stakeholders are there who are working on peace building initiatives, who are working on women's empowerment, education, social cohesion issues. These are happening. Now it's the elections, and this is the particular focus, but it doesn't take away from the work. This is in addition to all that's been done. So someone asked about what difference the women made that we wanted to continue to take
Mm.
leadership. All the difference is adding up to good governance. So if everything was so okay with men leadership, with having just men making decision for us, we will still be where we are as a country and as a people. We see there's a gap that needs to be closed. There's a serious gap, and let's close that gap. There nothing wrong, nothing bad is going to happen if we have a woman who is elected as the senator.
But it's what you people did for the other people who ran in 2023 that I won't do this time around.
2023, we did a whole lot in terms of supporting women.
Mhm.
The women who participated in the elections can say to them, like I said, all of these support or work that we do around women's political participation, leadership, and representation, they happen in different phases. So in 2023, there were a lot of support for women, training women, different ways that women express their challenges and they supported them. We monitor violence against women in elections. We went into communities where women were challenged. You had a Potocanen situation. We drove from Morovia and claimed over 150 bridges to get to Nomo Datono at the time. We went there and were able to work with the people there, the community, firstly to just restore confidence in the electoral process, and to reassure them that this process should be peaceful and women should be allowed to participate in the elections. We saw what happened in Grand Bassa County. The women of Grand Bassa came together again. The people of Grand Bassa and the voted Young Kaga Lawrence. So it's not a one organization take all kind of thing. It's the collective effort, the small work that women continue to do in different areas, and organizations that support women's political participation continue to do to ensure that we build the capacity of women, we support them where needed so that they can go forward to participate in
Nothing
these
comment.
elections.
Nothing comment. 1 minute.
You know, I let 1 minute business. They won't want to go over our number again, Maka, and I remind you, are coming for your own number, your own support. I hear the people saying, "Oh, we're sending our money to the mobile money." You are
Okay.
sending money,
I
nothing
would
we're
know.
talking here, and you are sending support because either to do pull washer, she
Mhm.
it takes a whole lot to go across the 9 districts in Nima and all of that. So there's so much more to elections, and you and I know who get the money. You've been seeing video then all around. Eh?
Who got it?
So no.
Me, I don't know.
And we have the whole vice president of the Republic of Liberia. You see the power dynamics. We have the whole vice president of the country leaving the seat here in Morovia and going to go and canvass. He's been there almost 3 days going. You don't tell me the resources that he's using to go around the county.
The MDR money.
Which MDR?
MDR, the movement
How
for.
do we know? What's the transparency around that? So when we talk about the power imbalance and how women and even minority groups, right, the challenges that they have to equal participation. So when you say level, just saying can't run, and the conditions, the underlying conditions are there, they are not the same, then the level, the fee is not playing. The fee is not playing. The whole 5% in the man can't say. And we just in Morovia here and saying, okay, for the sake of equal participation and equity in leadership, let's put the money together and let's give it to EDF. So we thank everybody who have sent their money where they can go, but at least they've sent their support. It's solidarity. It's small. I know it's very small to what EDF has to spend in these elections, but just the thought of it and the reason behind it is what is important. So the number again is *156*3#088-109-4404. That's the loans, the mobile money number. We ending the campaign today. We'll be at Fish Market. We'll be there throughout the day. We really encourage all of us to please come out and send forth our support to her. And again, we say that women's leadership is for everybody. The country benefit, diverse leadership, representation in our national politics is important. This is not a one size fit all thing. We all should be given the opportunity because women perspectives and their experiences are also important for creating the kind of policies that we need that will reflect the diversity of our people in Liberia. And when women are absent from decision making bodies and spaces, the critical issue that affect half of the population in Liberia, they may be overlooked, and that will lead to inequitable policy and governance. So come out and let's support and peace out to the people of Nima County. We see you, we support you, and we're praying for the best. And to everyone else, today is Good Friday. We say to all the Christians across Liberia, happy Good Friday and bring your money.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, she's Atulin Fasia Harris being here with us this morning on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. This is how we love to go home. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. My name is Marka Davis. I've been here this morning with Ansu Salif. We're taking our usual weekend break and we'll be back on Monday fresh on the TBS. Have yourself a wonderful time. Bye bye.